Knowledge Cipher, one of the things that illustrates or encourages us to do is to strive to be aware of the cycle of life. So when you think about a cipher or you think about the cycle of life, it's a never ending journey or a never ending process. What do I mean by that? Think about a circle itself. It's 360 degrees. When you're looking at a circle and you see a circle, where does it start and where does it end? You can't tell because the circle itself represents eternity. It represents a never ending state or a never ending symbol. That is also why when you look at some of the glyphs of ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt, you see what that symbol or what that dot actually represents. It represents infinity. It represents the creator. So when you look at a cipher, it having no beginning or an ending, one of the things that communicates to you is when you're thinking about knowledge cipher is to understand that life functions in that fashion and death is also a part of that life, that everything is never ending and it has no beginning. When you look at life and death, where did it actually start and where did it end? When a person transitions or passed today, someone else was born today. When you look at a 24-hour cipher or cycle, it's impossible to demarcate or to determine where the day started and when the night ended, or when the night ends or starts and the day ends. There's no way to determine that. When you look at a 24-hour cycle, you see a transition of night into day and then day into night. There's no particular point that demarcates, okay, it's no longer daytime and now it's nighttime. It started right now. There's no demarcation where you can say, okay, it's no longer nighttime. Now it is exactly daytime. It's a never ending process. And that's vitally important to understand because a lot of times when people don't understand that cycle of life or that balance, it may be difficult for them to center themselves or to understand that you have different experiences that you go through and that you may be in a certain place within that cipher. So if you look at this cycle of life and you look at it as a circle, you may be in a certain position or place moving along that cipher without understanding that there is a cycle of life and that things move from one phase to the next. It may be easy to be imbalanced or be confused about where you're actually at in life. What do I mean by that? Our life goes through the same exact process. There are times when we have more access to abundance, and there may be times when we don't have that access to abundance. Some people, it may be very difficult for them to sustain that or understand that they're going through that process because they don't recognize the importance and the concept of what a cipher is. They're not aware of that. So knowledge cipher is being able to understand those particular processes, that there's a balance with all things. You have day, you have night. You have in, you have out. You have up, you have down. You have man, you have woman. You have light, you have dark. And these dynamic opposites are actually one in nature. In order to have one, you must have the other. The other is the evidence of what the other one actually is. In order for you to have night, for night to even be what night is, you have to manifest day to show and prove and substantiate what night is. For you to know what a woman is, you have to have a man. And for you to know what a man is, you have to have a woman. Together, they come together to produce child. So Knowledge Cipher is in part learning to be aware of the cycle of life and to find our place in terms of balance when it comes to understanding that cycle of life and not being polarized in one particular place or the other. Realizing that all things don't remain the way that they are, that they constantly change and transform. So when you're looking at that cipher or that cycle of life, we all go through processes where we're in different places in that journey of life. Sometimes we may be in a certain place in that cipher or in that journey of life, and we want to be down here because we're comfortable there. We all go through that process consistently. We all go through that process. Now, an important part of understanding that is the 10th letter in our alphabet is the letter J. So Knowledge Cipher, or the number 10, if you look at the correspondence to the 10th letter in the alphabet being J, J represents justice. What's justice? Justice is a universal corrective force. Justice is the balance of the universe. It's the rewards and penalties based upon our actions or our inaction. That's something that some people miss out on. People oftentimes say, yeah, justice is a reward or penalties based upon one's ways and actions, but it's also rewards and penalties based upon our inaction. Because justice is also just, I see equality. Just, I see equality. Or just ice. Ice is indifference. Ice is also to, chill out. To chill out. And sometimes that's what we got to do. We got to sit back, center ourselves, and just chill. Respect that things are going to evolve and happen in their own term and on their own time. Sometimes we can be proactive and be a part of that. But sometimes when we're in a cipher, we need to just chill and be just like ice. That's what justice is, to be just like ice. Now, I'm moving a little fast, so I'm going to strive to slow it down a little bit. Just like ice means ice freezes at 32 degrees. So in our mathematics, 32 is understanding wisdom. So sometimes in order to chill or to just sit back and to center ourselves, that is us understanding or seeing the way in which things move, understanding that wisdom. That when we're in that cipher, sometimes we need to just sit back and observe, see things for what they are, look at the way in which things are moving, and just freeze, chill. We ain't got to say nothing. We ain't got to do nothing. Because in the cipher, that's where we're actually at. But it requires the ability to center ourselves and to just chill sometimes. Chill.